Hi everyone, and welcome to your monthly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the month of March 2023. If you're new here, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. I'll be doing 7 card readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Tarot of the Divine with Dongling Jade, the Dark Mansion Tarot with White Crystal, and the Light Seers Tarot with Obsidian. We also have 4 different Oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one. And of course you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps right below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, group 1, let's see what we have for you for March. Actually, I might as well mention this now. You're going to see this deck a lot in the upcoming little while because I'm not satisfied with how well I know this deck. And my main gripe is when a card flips over just a little and I get a peek at it and I have no idea what card it is. So I want to work on that. And case in point, there's a card that flipped over a little while I was shuffling and I have no idea what card it is. But regardless of anything, in your present energy, this is looking really good. What is this? This is the 4 of Coins. So actually, something that I want to point out right away, because it's literally the first card that I flipped over. The Sun card in this deck has a completely different vibe. You know, usually the Sun card has a vibe of, lighthearted playfulness and things like that. But this is like literally the Sun god. So this is quite the card to have appear in your reading. So given the wild space weather that is in store for us for the month of March, it's looking like you're in a good position to confront it. This might be an omen that the challenge for you for March might be lack of adaptability. Mainly the 4 of Coins in reverse, I often, not always, but often read them as holding on too tightly for to something. But I have the feeling that with this 4 of Swords here, that it is something that you are either mindful of or are in a position to put the systems in place to deal with that. So in your past energy leading up to this, we have the 9 of Cups. Well, hey, obviously, if we were going to have the 9 of Cups somewhere in our reading, the past would not be the ideal place, but it is an indicator that, again, coming into the month of March, that you have a lot of momentum going into the month, and that is good. It's difficult for me to elaborate. So in your future / upcoming energy, we have the 5 of Cups. Again, I think it's too soon to panic. And as I alluded to at the top of your reading, the space weather for March is looking kind of crazy. So I can understand how I have been bracing myself for 3 pretty wild readings, and so far you're looking good by that standard. So your main advice card is the 8 of Cups reversed, and your supporting advice card is the 8 of Coins reversed. So I think with the Ace of Coins at the bottom of your deck here, I think the overall message for you is to be ready to, how can I say this? Be ready to adapt. I think that whatever momentum you're coming into this month with, I would be mindful to be ready to switch things up, because sometimes I'm reminded of my time, the very brief period of time where I did door-to-door sales, and sometimes a deal would fall through in the 11th hour. I'm thinking of a particular close, which never happened, but the guy had filled in all the paperwork. The only thing he had left to do was to sign the fucking final page, the last signature on the final page. And he got a phone call. and then he went into the back, and then he came back, and he had all sorts of questions and whatever, and the deal fell through. It never happened, and he had filled in everything up until that fucking last signature on the final page. So the reason that I'm reminded of this message is because sometimes when you have a lot of momentum going into a situation, that you know, things can fall apart at the last minute, and this is a warning to be ready to adapt. To be ready to adapt in response to that, and also a reminder that you know, it's not you. It's not you. It's just that shit happens. So don't be too hard on yourself. So I think I have reached the limit of what I can tell you, Group 1. Thank you very much for trusting me with your reading. You can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I will see you there. All right, Group 2, let's see what we have for you for the month of March. This is the last call. If I don't hear anyone complaining about how this deck is too small in the reading, I'm just going to assume that everything is good to go. So this is the 10 of Cups reversed, the 7 of Cups, and Death. Listen, this is looking really good for energy coming into the month. It's looking like the phrase "embarrassment of riches" just popped into mind, because what's making me uncertain as far as how to read this is the fact that the 10 of Cups is reversed and the 7 of Cups is in the middle of your reading here. But we do have the Death card, suggesting that this is you know, sometimes bringing about a big change within yourself or within the environment around you can be a long and tedious process. And it's looking like things are going well, although there might be some kind of an impasse in the present energy. The past energy coming into this is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Well, I gotta say, and I'm surprised I haven't mentioned it yet in your reading, but with the space weather coming into March, the space weather that is announced for March, which is looking pretty crazy. It's good. It's looking like, first of all, this Wheel of Fortune reversed kind of explains the present energy, puts it into context, and it also looks like it's, you might not be able to tell now, but it's looking like it's preparing you for the the cosmic storm that we all have in store for us for the month of March. So in your future / upcoming energy, we have the 8 of Pentacles. This is kind of wild. I think it is the notion of slow and steady improvements through iteration is the main thing that's coming to mind for now. It's difficult for me to elaborate just yet. So your main advice card is the Ace of Swords, and the supporting advice card is the Page of Cups. Very interesting. And what is this? The 9 of Coins at the bottom of your deck. So actually, this is looking really interesting. I am going to give myself a moment to stare at these cards in silence. I'll see you right now. So here's what I got. I think that you might not realize this yet, but whatever this Wheel of Fortune reverse in your past, whatever that represents for you, Group 2, I think you will find in the weeks to come that this was a blessing in disguise, and it's putting you in a uniquely good position to deal with what this month has in store for you. And I think that by it's kind of like. It's kind of like, you know, in college or whatever, when there's a notoriously difficult class, and for whatever reason, you got a peek at what the final exam will be or what the questions will be. And it might throw your current plans out of whack. Actually, it's a combination of these two cards here. It might throw your current plans out of whack, but it's giving you it's giving you an advantage going into the final exam of the semester because you've seen some of the questions and you know exactly what to prepare for. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. And I think that the lesson for you, group 2, is to continue integrating to continue trying to use the lessons of this Wheel of Fortune reverse to go through the transformation to prepare for the what this month has in store for us all. And I would say to a phrase that came to mind while I was staring at these cards, and I'm 90% sure this is from in Napoleon Hill's book Outwitting the Devil. Every adversity contains within it the seed of an equivalent advantage, and that is what this Ace of Swords is made me think of. I think that the adversity that this Wheel of Fortune reverse represents plays into your present energy, but I think that the Ace of Swords as a main advice card is inviting you to ask yourself, like, what is the equivalent advantage, or what is the advantage that this Wheel of Fortune reversed represents for me? And I think that part of that solution might also be to open up in a vulnerable way. It might even be as simple as sharing your story. That feels oversimplified, so I don't think that particular part resonates will resonate with many of you. But I think that the notion that something unique to you and your perspective and the person that you are can be what this can contribute to make this Ace of Swords valuable, and with that you can kind of keep working at it diligently, basically. Yeah, honestly, this is looking fairly good. The Nine of Coins reverse honestly doesn't add much that I haven't already said. Just remember that at least you got a sneak peek at what the final exam will be. And as much of a burden that it might feel like it placed upon you, this is a blessing in disguise. And I would encourage you to look for the blessing, even though you might have to work at it a little bit. So that was a mic drop right there. So I will thank you for trusting me with your reading. You can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I will see you there. All right, group 3, let's see what we have for you for the month of March. I'll open with this for you. The space weather for March is looking kind of crazy, so I've been bracing myself for 3 kind of crazy readings, and so far it's looking good. So hopefully you will continue the trend. And we open with the 8. What the fuck? Jesus Christ! So we have the Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and Judgment. This is phenomenal. It's looking like, actually, I'm too curious. So, okay, now it's making sense. And so far, your reading is entirely upright, group 3. So that's looking good. But it's looking like this is phenomenal. This may or may not be an indicator of like the kind of person who is drawn to my videos, but it's looking like whatever cosmic storm that the month of March has in store for us, that you're already preparing for it, and it's looking good. I mean, Jesus Christ, of all the cards to have in the middle of your whole reading, the Chariot here, wow, especially combined with the Ace of Cups, this is looking like one of these readings that I'm probably gonna have to pause and stare at this, but yeah, it's looking really good. And we have the Fool reversed in your incoming energy with the Emperor as your advice card. Supporting advice is the Queen of Wands with the Nine of Cups at the bottom. Did I mention that your reading was looking optimistic? Wow, group 3. Honestly, I'm a little jealous, but let me see here. This should be good. Yeah. I'm gonna stitch all of this together with the like. Just seeing my reactions to the cards is giving a good impression of what my first impressions are. But I really want to make sure that you walk away with something valuable. All right, I'll see you right now. I just need one thing. I'm going to pull a clarification card on the Fool reversed, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So again, this is a clarification card for this. Yeah. Honestly, group 3, it doesn't look like you need much help from me. It looks like you got shit going. What I will say, if if recently or shortly after seeing this video, you get like an idea, some kind of aha moment or whatever, you can take this reading as a glowing green light to move forward with whatever that idea is or was, because it's looking like you've come out of the valley of darkness. The Moon card is a card of confusion. If you've watched any of my videos and seen me talk about this Moon card, you've heard me use ad nauseum the metaphor of walking through a forest by night and all those glowy green eyes, those glowy eyes staring back at you, and how scary that can be. And it's looking like you came out the other side of that scary dark forest, not necessarily a much better person, but much better prepared to deal with the challenges that this month has in store for you. And you're being reminded to, keep running the ship. Just keep being the sovereign, benevolent ruler that you are, and to not be afraid to be bold and compassionate and creative. And it's looking like whatever this idea was is something that has a lot of potential for emotional fulfillment, and it's almost as if this idea that you have is bigger than you, and you're being invited to go forward with it. Again, this is a glowing green light on whatever this idea may have been, but the Fool card reversed here is an implicit warning to not expect, don't do, when you have a big idea, bringing it down to earth, bringing it into fruition, will always take longer than you would like it to be. And this Fool reverse in your future position here is basically a warning to not let that impatience make you want to do something actually foolish. I've mentioned this before. Sometimes the Fool reverse I read as foolishness, and that is, especially with the Seven of Coins as a clarifier here, this is a warning to not let your desire to see quick results tempt you into doing something foolish. But as long as you keep balancing the opposites and making them work together in the right direction, and keep steering the ship with benevolence and boldness and compassion and creativity, then you're on the right track. Honestly, there isn't much else that I can say to this. So if you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, you can use the timestamps to jump ahead a couple seconds. I will see you at the Oracle card portion. All right, let's take a look at the Oracle cards. This is fairly well centered. Okay, so Group A, your card is Allowance. Let me read what is here. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow the universe, when we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. Well, this is a good omen. It's basically reminding you to not let your preconceived notions of how things should be interfere with your judgment on how to best deal with whatever challenges the month has in store for us. Group B, your card is Progress. This is I Ching hexagram number 35. And the keywords are advancement, gaining recognition, appreciation, achievements, acceleration, steady gains, increased clarity. Well, if this, honestly, and I'll mention this now, I've literally said this for each reading, so you've heard me say this before. I was bracing for a crazy set of readings given the space weather for March, but this is looking really good. I don't know what that says about my audience, if anything, but just keep keep going. Honestly, Group B, it doesn't look like you need much help from me. I wouldn't be surprised if many people who picked Group B also picked Group 3, Group 3C. Sorry, B. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. I'm going to move on. Hopefully what I was intending to say is clear. Group C, actual Group C, your Moon Oracle card is Lunar Mansion number 8, the Knight. Let me stare at this card for a second here. This is, okay, yeah, it's the first lunar mansion of Cancer. Give me a moment here. Okay, this is actually pretty straightforward. You're being invited with this card to use the gifts and talents to protect others, to protect those around you. Yeah, it's difficult for me to elaborate, but I'll say that Cancer is a sign of being a good host. And with the lunar mansion as it is here, you're being invited to extend compassion to those around you and to do your best to protect them, basically. Yeah. Group D, your Egyptian god is Sobek, with a message of union and power. It's funny. I'm getting kind of both of those vibes here. I think that the total being greater than the sum of its parts or whatever. I was trying to come up with that phrase, which is why I was hesitant. But you're being invited to collaborate, and through collaboration with people, then you can help strengthen each other's strengths and compensate for each other's shortcomings. And through that collaboration, you can navigate through the month. But again, based off of all three readings, it's looking like the people drawn to this video are particularly well suited for the month of March, which, as you've all heard me say in your reading, is looking like a pretty crazy month. So this is very optimistic. I hope that we will look back at this and laugh. And on that note, if your reading resonated with you, if you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help out. And y'all rock the month of March, all right? You take care. I'll see you soon.